Well, hello, ladies and gents. I thought I would sort of look into this a little bit deeper to a certain degree. This is, of course, the Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power teaser trailer. And I thought we'd just literally just go frame by frame. I've already done like a reaction to it. I'll leave it linked above. Since that reaction, this is now number 3 on trending. And you know what? I don't believe it. Because if I go to trending, right? Like if I go to the trending tab, how is this number 3 on trending when Marvel's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is 23 million views 19 hours ago and it's number 2 on trending? And then Prime Video's The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, only 9 million views. Like how? How is it how? Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, we already know that YouTube plays silly buggers with trending stuff. Like, if something gets put in, trending and it really shouldn't be there, they remove it. And you know for a fact they're putting stuff in trending that shouldn't be there as well. 100%. So I thought we would take a look frame by frame and sort of discuss what I think is just terrible, right? Like, this opening sequence is awful graphics. This is PlayStation 3 level graphics. And they've spent serious money on this. But this whole thing here is terrible. So the sales themselves, and this matters, and like people are like, oh, you're being too nitpicky. No, I'm not, man. It's not too nitpicky to point out something that looks cheap, that was incredibly expensive. That's not nitpicky. Because where did the money go? How is that nitpicky? But the sales look awful. The textures look awful. Like, this looks cheap. And then one of the things which I really thought was bad, and this is just the opening situation, is this reflection. So this reflection here, right, is supposed to be reflecting this big old statue up here. I mean, it's notably missing something, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah. They don't even line up properly. Not good. And then also, like, the direction of the light is all over the place. So there's a shadow over here, underneath my face. But then there's a shadow here. So what's causing that shadow, and where's the direction of the light coming from? Because it's not coming across here, so it's nothing over on this side, right? But then there's a reflection here, so the light must be aiming downwards. So if that's the case, then do you see how it doesn't actually add up? And again, it all matters. It all seriously matters. Like, you can't, your opening sequence looks cheap and shite. This stuff I thought was, like, odd. Like, New Zealand landscape was what Peter Jackson chose. It's not what Tolkien, like, it's based on Britain, right? This is Tolkien's giving Britain its own legends, its own myth. Which is why when we talk about the race of and ethnicity of people, that matters as well. Because it was supposed to reflect something. And it would be like going to, I don't know, like bloody Africa and being like, oh, we're just going to pop a bunch of white people in this. You'd be like, why'd you do that? Or a bunch of Chinese, go to a Chinese myth and story and go, oh, I just put a bunch of white people in that. You go, why are you doing that? But, when it's Britain, no, it's fine, anything goes. So, the landscape looks fine. Like, it's a beautiful landscape. We all know New Zealand looks great. Like, you can't really argue with it. But then this stuff looks so weird. It looks like it's composited in. But, like, we know it's not. Because there's a set photo of it. But this looks composited in. And it'll be to do with the colour grading. So they've messed up their colour grades. Because as it comes up and over here, this looks sort of okay. But then it starts looking really janky. Like there. As it crosses over just the bridge of this hill here, the brow of this hill, right? Look how odd it starts looking. And that's colour grade. The colour grade's terrible. They've artificially changed the colour of the antlers on these people's backs, right? And that's not good. Like, again, technically bad. And then, speaking of technical elements, and it's something which is a recurring theme throughout the whole teaser trailer, and we're not even touching on anything else yet, but the lenses are, like, bland. You know, you're spending like $1 billion on this or something insane like that, right? Why are you using very generic looking lenses? Why? Like, I don't see anything unique about how this looks. And if you've never made a film, or you don't watch a lot of films, or you don't know the technical details behind a film, you might not be able to pick up on it. And I'm not trying to condescend. Like, I'm sure a lot of you do, but like, there's subtle things, right? Where, like, you know, the image slightly breaks up towards the outside. You know, there's subtle, unique elements of a lens that you can pick up on. This just looks normal. Why? From an artistic perspective, why would you want it to look so bland and normal? And again, composite. Like, it looks like it's composited in. Ugh. So bad. And I got no idea what this is supposed to be. Is this supposed to be a hobbit or something? Are those horns that are cut off? Has she got like a nest? Is this a nest? She's got like a nest in her hair? What's going on? What is it? What's that there? Is that like a stick? Like, I don't... What am I supposed to be looking at here? Just a woman smiling. Like, grand. Great. Well, we can't play the trailer because it'll get copyright blocked. But that voice that comes on. Haven't you ever wondered? Haven't you ever wondered? Like, stop it. Just breathe. Breathe properly, man. Don't hyperventilate to do narration for Amazon Prime. Don't hyperventilate. Just calm down. Like, seriously. Oh, dear. I mean, this is trying so hard to be Game of Thrones. Like, it's incredible, as it were. So this is interesting, right? So this is Galadriel. She never wore armor like this. This is not, like, she wasn't bounding around in armor. This is not Galadriel in the lore sense, and that matters as well. You disrespect the lore. If you're making a change to the lore, there needs to be a reason for it. Otherwise, you're doing it for gratuitous sake, right? Like, you're doing it for no reason at all, just for tokenization. Now, Galadriel is an incredibly powerful woman without all of that. And actually, I think it speaks more to Galadriel being so powerful without the need for armor. Without the need for any of that. Like, surely, ladies and gents, can we agree? But this move is very strange. So she's jumping upwards. How did she move across? What? And then she hits. It stays. It doesn't move at all. Holds it. Feet just go straight back down. That's it. It's very straight. Like, that's not... It's not real in any way. But she also moves up. And, like, your feet would need to propel you upward, but she doesn't. It's so God. But again, because they can't get any of this, you know, the simple things right, it just doesn't look very good. Nah, not very good at all. Now they say before the ring, before the fellowship, and before the king, or something like that. This is supposed to be the creation of the rings. So why would you call it the rings of power if you're going to lead with before the rings? Like, yeah, but you're making them in this series, so it's not actually before. It is the story of. So even that on like a past and present tense, you know, the tense situation, it doesn't make any sense. And I know it's nitpicky. I just don't give a fuck. Deal with it, ladies and gents. Deal with it. It's like it's too, I don't know, like it's trying to be edgy, but also hopeful. And this was never hopeful. This is not what this is all about. you know, or elf trying to, you know, trying to recreate the whole elements of Legolas and things like that, like, but doing it in a really substandard way. And no, there was no elves like this. No, like they were based on Europeans. And again, people will be like, "Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah." No, they were like this for a reason. It's just It's so strange that they chose to go this whole route. Again, before the ring, it's like, what ring? Because you in this series, you're making the rings. Like, what are you doing, man? What a weird setup. Doesn't it just look cheap? I can't be the only one that, like, the outfits. Look at the costume here. It looks cheap. I cannot be the only one that thinks this looks cheap. And like this here, right? They've obviously been riding for some time. Why are the horses not filthy? Why is this not dirty? Right? This white horse would not be as clean as this. They've obviously been riding a long time. That you can see it. Even just there, dirt's being picked up. You can see it. These horses would be filthy, and so would the riders, but they're not. Now, this person is in a cave. You would be filthy as well. The only piece of dirt I can see, but it even might be a mole, is this on their face. You're not like it matters. You know, their fingernails should be dirty and grimy and horrible. You're in a cave, man. What are you doing? This doesn't look right. Like the way the light bounces off of it. Now, what's causing that second bit of light there? He's already moved the light away, and then his face should block it. What? So odd. A new legend begins this fall. Yeah, a legend that you pulled out your ass and made up. This is a nice shot, but again, bad lens. There's nothing unique about the lens being used, but it's a nice shot. He's a dwarf. He lives underground. He should be filthy. Why is he not filthy? Like, why? Where's the filth? Where's the dirt? This is supposedly Elrond. An architect. He was never an architect. This is not Elrond. They've completely changed this. Like, what? What? This is a fat dwarf queen. Good. They should be fat. They should be dumpy, underground. Where's the beard? Also, just from a biology sense, and people are like, "Hey, but it's fantasy." Shut up. It still has to be grounded in some form of reality, in some shape or form. Like, there is still a grounding somewhere, you know? Just because it's fantasy doesn't mean suddenly she's going to split in two and run around singing Kumbaya, for fuck's sake. And she's supposed to have a beard, and if she lives underground, she wouldn't be black. That's just simple. They are supposed to be indistinguishable from the men. And she's singing, and she's got gold on her hands, and she's not dirty. Why is she not dirty? This makes sense. She wouldn't be dirty. She's just come out of the ocean. Fine. What is this? What am I looking at here? A bunch of naked people in flames. What am I looking at? It's such a weird... It's weird as a way to try and entice people to watch this. It's just weird. I don't get it. Again, here. You know, he raises... Where's the dirt on this dwarf? Where's the dirt? He's underground. He's smithing stuff. He's breaking stuff up. Where's the dirt? Oh, finally, someone's dirty. And notice here, and I pointed this out in my trailer reaction, they're hiding the orcs, because I reckon they're going to be changing them as well. These are obviously some kind of orc, and they change them. Don't know what this is. Don't care. At the very least, they dirtied their hands up, though. At the very least. Fine. I hate it. Everyone hates it. Most people hate it. People are not buying this. They don't like it. Like, you can see the comments. People are just like, you know, evil doesn't create, etc., etc. Using a Tolkien quote. Where is it? Because it's quite right. Oh yeah. The shadow that bred them can only mock, it cannot make, not real things of its own. There's one epic quote. And these are clearly fans. Like, they obviously know their stuff to be able to quote Tolkien in that fashion. Where was the other one that was so good? God, there is so... the shadows of bread, then blah, blah, blah. So funny. You must understand the good in things to detect the real evil. Oh dear. It's not gonna go down very well. This is gonna be a monumental loss for Amazon. And this as well, like this, the font. Nah, don't get it. Not on board. What do you guys think though? It just looks cheap crap to me. Let me know what you think down below. Cheers. Take care.